Hey everybody, Mike here. I am with the 2024 Toyota Prius. This is a limited all-wheel drive model. And just glancing at it from this angle, it's kind of shocking to say, hey, this is actually a pretty decent looking car. And this has been echoed quite a bit, pretty universally online when this car debuted a couple years ago. So you can't say Mike is, being biased. I think most people would agree that the first thing about the next generation model is just how much better the styling is compared to any Prius past. And particularly, to me, the last generation was pretty bad. So you can see what was done here. Now, obviously, I am not by far the first with any content on the Prius, but hopefully I can show a couple of things maybe that's been missed, or just talk about, from my perspective, being a bigger guy, 6'5", that this car actually works out to be a pretty good family car. And I think that's what I want to talk about. In the past, obviously, this is what, the 5th generation Prius, I believe. That's the XC 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. Oh, 6th gen? Shame on me, I should know that. But we all know the history of the Prius, right? So it actually debuted in Japan first before we got it in the USA. And the first mass-produced hybrid. And I believe, if I add some numbers up, over 7 million of these worldwide have been sold. And this really was the first kind of environmentally conscious car, if you remember, right? So way before Teslas, if you wanted to be eco-conscious and kind of make a statement, you got yourself a Prius. And then Prius became Pri. I think there was even an online campaign for that. You had the Prius C and then the bigger version, I think the Prius A, yada yada. Well, things are back simplified, so you have the one model. But what they've done is obviously has that front familiar Toyota face, those boomerang headlights, LED everything, LED lights. They lowered the roof line. It actually has double dual pane sunroofs. And then it keeps its wonderful hatchback shape. There's over 20 cubic feet with the seats up. The LE, which is the base one, I guess because for whatever reason, because I think maybe it's not all-wheel drive, I'm not sure, has 23 cubic feet of space, so the trunk is actually, it's about 10% larger. All-wheel drive badging. Let me get my shutter out the way. And you see there's a black trim over the wheel wells, not color keyed, black side view mirrors. Michael loved this part. Everybody that's seen it really likes this. Is the rear door handle is in the C-pillar. The rear is really sporty. So obviously, like all things today, full LED light bar. But check it out. Prius is blacked out. You see the limited LTD here. And then, as we have talked about before, if you don't know, every hybrid Toyota will have this HEV badge. And if it's a plug-in, I think it says PHEV, if I recall. So this is not the plug-in. This isn't the Prime. Now, the base LE, I believe, gets about 56 miles per gallon. Yeah, that's what it's rated at. This one is all-wheel drive, so I think it's 49 miles per gallon is the rating. I got about 42 miles per gallon. But y'all know, I'm going to drive the car through its paces. So I'm pretty sure if I didn't do that, I would have no problem getting the estimated miles per gallon. All right. It's 180 inches long. So if you're a Lexus owner, that's the length of the second generation IS, to put it in perspective. 180-inch wheelbase. I think it's 70 inches wide. And then I'll go inside from the rear so I can kind of show the full dash for you all. So again, pretty cool. Just pop this. There's a little button. And let's step inside. And so this is your dash, right? And I think they did a great job with it. This has the optional digital mirror. So you see that 12-inch screen straight ahead. And then it has, I'll zoom in, that driver's information cluster. Some people online have said they wish that the font was larger. I'm hoping Toyota can maybe add an option for a larger font. I mean, it's electronic. I'm sure it's just something that needs to be programmed. Nice light bar fully across, including all the way here. So yeah, it starts over there, believe it or not, by the steering wheel. You got USB-C ports. That's my Amazon charger. I use it on my videos. You got USB-C ports here in the glove box and in the back. You do see this does have the rear seated heat option, which is great. It has been cold recently. Michael did use it. The steering wheel size is great. I'll sit up front pretty soon. Tons of room. Now the back is compromised with room because of the sloping rear line. So you can see my head is hitting the top. If I take my head off, I have a little more room. I also noticed it doesn't really have that indentation that a lot of Toyotas have. I mean, I feel it right here, but sometimes they go a little higher here, but I guess with a sloped roof, they can do that. So my family was okay, because everybody, obviously my family is shorter than me. Nobody complained about the rear seat room, but if you are taller, it's definitely something to think about. I don't think anybody ever talks about these pockets anymore, but there's a magazine pocket on the passenger side, but not on the driver's side. Pull down the cup holder, and the same kind of usual, nothing special, nothing amazing, but you got your two cup holders here. This does say it has a cup holder, you can fit them here, but I didn't try. You can see the angle here. A lot of plastic, so nothing like mind-blowing, but I think for the price point it's okay. It's nothing bad, you know, just nothing like crazy where you would write home about. All right. Oh, just noticed a Prius on. See, you saw little details. That's cool. That's the rear view heater, right? Windshield heater. So, all right. So this is up front, and I fit perfectly fine, so you can see. And I thought that was going to be a concern. I was concerned when I read the car, you know, got a little lower, and I just simply adjusted my seat, which is power on the driver's side. On the limited, the passenger side was manual, so that's something to think about as well. But I fit fine. My head didn't touch anything, not once, which I thought was pretty impressive. Oh, I need to turn the AC on. Let's talk about that. So in addition to the heated seats up front, like you have in the rear, you have 3-way cooled seats. Now, it does not have dual zone climate control. I thought that was a little weird because that GR Corolla we just had did have dual zone climate control. So keep that in mind. Look, another Prius badging right here. And then here's my cup holder. And then I like this because I don't program the garage for these press cars. I might not want to leave my garage door opener out. So you have a secret compartment right here. You can put that. There's a bunch of things out there. This whole actually comes out if you don't even want to hide anything. I love that kind of flexible storage. I think that's great. I wish, you know, Toyota, every brand would just, you know, really be innovative with their car storage. Kind of normal shifter here. You have your drive mode selection. So you'll see it barely change. I think in the video I do it inside, you'll, oh, let me move my clip. That might help y'all. Right, so nothing dramatic. And it didn't drive when you drive. There's EV mode. What that means is just it runs on batteries. When the batteries are filled up, you can kind of drive around for a while in EV mode. And the traction control, you have your electric parking brake. This was magnetic. Every vehicle, and I don't have my other phone with me. This is the wireless car slot. Now, traditionally, in a Toyota, Lexus, or a Dan or any car, right? It's you plop your phone on top. I have never had success with it. I think twice in my life. I honestly do not like the wireless chargers. I think they take up a ton of space. They don't charge. Nobody I even know likes them. And most people do use their phone. It is what it is. this slot was amazing because you slide your phone in here and it kind of clasps. You see the clasp here, it clicks in, and then you see the green light go to yellow, and it was charging fast, effective. Oh, I loved it. And then obviously because it's in a slot, it takes much less space. And this is really amazing because not only did it fit my other iPhone, it fit my Fold 4. So it's acceptably large. It'll fit your folds. It'll fit your bigger phones as well. That's the other thing with these wireless chargers. They're built for phones, I swear, without a case. So they don't even fit the phone half the time. And of course, when they change the phone, you know how it is every year. It's just like a car. Every year, it get bigger, wider, and yeah. Then next thing you know, it doesn't fit, right? Digital mirror. I am a huge matching fan of digital mirrors. I think they're safer. You can see everything. If you have something in the back seat blocking your view is not blocked because you have the digital mirror. But I noticed my wife prefers the normal mirror. So yeah. So digital. Yeah, for me, headrest, nothing abnormal here, but it did have the extender. I noticed some vehicles nowadays don't even have that, but the Prius Limited did have the extender. LED lighting all over, and then again, dual pane sunroofs, open and close. So Michael loves it. He loves sunroofs, so I think that's a great feature in the Prius. So again, I think as a family car, it's really well done. I didn't drive it thinking, oh God, this is a great, hybrid. It was just a great car. Oh, this also had a heated steering wheel, which came in handy when I was driving it. We'll go to the trunk and I'll show you. So again, 20 cubic feet. And the button is right here. So yeah, more than enough room for most things. All right, there's some storage compartments in there. What's that? And then yeah, if you want to make more room, you have right here, you just drop this down, press it on that side, and you have your drop down with a seat. Looks like they're doing some yard work. I might have to talk a little louder here at the park. So I think that's one of the big Prius's advantages as well, and I think that's a big plus for sedans. Look, if you have a sedan, you have to offer either a drop-down seat or a hatchback form, I think, and make it a 5-door. I think people are looking for that utility, especially when they, are used to having an SUV. So that definitely helps the Prius as being an option for a family. Again, what made this so good and what's so shocking to me, and you can see this is actually on a Michelin all-season primacy tires, so 195 59s. And that's what was shocking to me. Driving it full tilt, all-wheel drive kicking in. Man, it was so seamless. It was so great. And I think Toyota has just nailed being this perfect blend of everything. There was nothing I felt like was sorely missing. It is a hybrid, so what was maybe missing, sound. I'm not driving a Prius expecting it to sound good. And let me see if I can pop the engine for you all real quick while I talk about that. You see the hood scoop is right here to open. Sorry, the hood prop. So I'm not expecting a Prius to sound, amazing, right? Look, jumbled wires, yes. They've hidden the hybrid components pretty good though. I don't see like orange wires. There they are right there. Usually they're glaring right up top, but they're hidden pretty well. So yeah, it's buzzy at full speed. You're flooring it. It's buzzy, not just because of the CVT as well. So whatever. Again, I'm not expecting it to sound amazing. You see the front camera right here. This has the optional around your camera systems. So totaled up, I looked at the Moroni label. This Limited to me is at a very reasonable $36,000. And the options were the digital mirror, which I think was $200 or $300, and then I think a little bit over $1,000 for the all camera system, which I think is mandatory. You have to get this. Makes life so much easier. And then destination was like a little over $1,000. So out the door, at MSRP, this is a $39,000 car, which I think is super reasonable for what you're getting. So yeah, 2024 Prius, I would definitely get all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive system is the front-wheel drive. It's always front-wheel drive, and the rear motors, it's not connected to a drive shaft, so the rear motors are all electric. And when it senses slippage or the all-wheel drive system would be better for the car, then it kicks in, and it's seamless, which I loved. You could not tell at any moment when it was front-wheel drive or rear-wheel, all-wheel drive or whatever. So I think that's a great point, great piece of engineering. Sorry about this vehicle. Would I buy one? I don't know. I think as a daily, it makes a lot of sense. 50 miles a gallon. I would have to check to see can I fit, 4 wheels in the back, because I do stuff for work. We've seen, I don't know if you've seen them, and maybe I'll put a couple links. If you've seen them online, like, I don't know about anybody in the US, but I know in Japan, they've bagged these things and put wheels on them. They look insanely good, because you're starting with a great look already. So it doesn't take too much to make this thing look kind of exceptional. And I think it's always funny to see comments, wow, that's a Prius, right? Now, the negatives, again, the sound, the CVT, it's not that it was bad. It's just, it's buzzy. It's 0 to 60 in high sevens. It's not like explosive acceleration, but it gets out its own way. And it's interesting, the word Prius. So while the eco-conscious love it, Prius also is a very bad word for enthusiasts. And even normal people I talk to, a lot just don't see themselves in a Prius. They don't care. And then it's funny, they don't like the Prius so much, they think this doesn't look good. And you get all this negative stuff about it. I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. But for whatever reason, that the word Prius just will never resonate with some people. And I totally understand that, because there's some cars and some brands that don't resonate with me. And I'm like, yeah, I probably wouldn't rock it. But yeah, overall, fantastic. I can only imagine the Prius Prime, because that one has, I think, 228 horsepower. And obviously you have, I think, 40 or 50 miles on electric charge. So that would be interesting. Maybe I can grab one of those soon. I think there's a Nightshade edition for 24. And 25 should be here, I think, already. So I'm not sure the press fleet will be updated. But anyway, speaking of press fleet, thank you to Zach. Thank you to the team at Toyota for having the confidence and giving me the opportunity to drive cars for you all and share my enthusiasm for vehicles and my interpretations of the vehicle for you, and the pros and the cons. I don't think I'm going to say this is better than anything, because you can come up with your own conclusions with that. I think my conclusion is this went from a great hybrid to a great car, and I think Toyota should be commended for that. I think this is now our vehicle. Let's be honest, we lose sedans almost every day, it feels like. And now the Prius has turned into a great sedan option. Technically it's a 5-door, but it's a car option in a world of SUVs. And I think Toyota is really nailing like each niche of people. This is no longer going to sell in the massive quantities it did in the 2000s. I think Toyota understands that. And they still put a ton of money into making this thing 10 times better. For the first time again, I would get a black one. If I did one, I would get a black one. I'd probably be more interested in the Prime. Lower it, wheels, a kit, and I got a pretty banging daily. And for those that want something stock for the first time, hey, this is not bad, right? This is actually pretty good. Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it. I probably will upload this before the GR Corolla. The editing is getting done on my GR Corolla video. That was shot professionally. So I hope you enjoy that as much as I enjoy driving that car. But again, this is the 2024 Toyota Prius Limited all-wheel drive. Starts around $36,000. The out-the-door price with this one, with the options, the digital mirror and the round view cameras, and I think the floor mats and the destination charge is right over $39,000. It is obvious this has been the Motor Trend Car of the Year winner. I totally understand that and get that. This car is absolutely exceptional. And hey, maybe give it a shot. Maybe give it a shot. Maybe I'm talking to my car enthusiasts that are looking for a daily and they don't want another SUV, or they don't want an SUV, and they never in a million years have thought about a Prius before. Check it out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by the handling characteristics, the space, obviously the miles per gallon, but overall just the way it drives. All right, everybody, peace out.